What's up everyone? So today I'm going to talk about a topic I touched on a little bit here and there, but I've never made a video strictly on this topic, but I think it's important. So I just got back from the Olympia, had a great fucking time, killed it. Our booth was fucking craziness the whole weekend, and I want to thank everyone that came, and it was great meeting everyone. I had a great fucking time, and there's nothing more I think I enjoy in life than fucking being at Expo and just fucking meeting all these awesome people. Now, what I want to talk about is, I want to talk about my athletes. I have more athletes than any other company. I have a shitload of athletes. I have tons of people that rep 5%, tons of 5%ers out there. And, as everyone knows, 5%, it is, what it stands for is, it's basically a person that's willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. Whatever those goals may be. So it really honestly has nothing to do with physicality. It really doesn't have much to do with the outer shell. It's really more about the mentality, and how positive and strong-minded, the individual is, and just willing to do whatever it takes and never fucking give up on their dreams. And so I'm really big on, positivity, people being positive, people being motivating. That's the kind of people I surround myself with. I want to be around people that help motivate, stay positive, and keep everyone, happy and good spirits, and, just makes for an awesome fucking time, and to not have any negative shit, negative people, I want no part of it. So I get asked a lot, for example, someone to come to the booth and might be, a big guy, and he might say, hey, I want to be on your team. I want to be a 5%er. And he says, I feel like I look better than some of your athletes, that you have. So, in other words, you should pick me because I look better, and, I have to stress that it's not so much about the physicality. There's much more to it, and there's much more to a person than, the outer shell. More importantly, it's what's inside that person. That's more important. And, a lot of times that's what I look for. I come across people and they strike me, and they pull me in, but just their positivity and, how motivated they are. And, I'm like, wow, this guy's fucking awesome. He's just so fucking motivated and so determined. And, I just like his spirit. I like, everything about him. And I'll be like, fuck, man, you should, come be part of the team, come hang out, because again, we all have to start somewhere, and when I started in this industry, I wasn't 280 something pounds, I was fucking, whatever, 190 pounds, whatever it was, but my motivation, my determination at 190 was fucking a hell of a lot more than it is now at 280, and so my motivation, my determination, and the person I was, and, all the good spirit I had towards everything, was unbelievable. And, that's important to me, is finding people like that. And another thing is, people have to understand that, like, when you come to my booth, I have athletes that, they're married, they have wives, they have girlfriends, I have girl athletes that have boyfriends and husbands, and, it wouldn't make any sense to me to have an athlete come work my booth and say, yeah, but you can't bring your wife. Your wife's not allowed at the booth. So you can be at the booth all weekend long at the Olympia, and your wife can't be with you. Like, what kind of fucking shit is that? That would be pretty fucked up. And I actually, encountered that in another situation. I was a sponsored athlete, and I was told that they didn't want my girlfriend at the booth. And it's kind of like, it's a big weekend, it's Vegas, it's fucking Olympia, like, you want your fucking girlfriend there, it's important, especially if your girlfriend's hot and she's only gonna fucking make the booth look better, right? So, but anyway, so I encourage my athletes to bring their girlfriends, their wives, their husbands, whatever it may be, bring them along, they're part of this, it's a family, and one of my favorite hashtags I use on Instagram is, we're all in this together. And I really believe that, that we all have the same goals. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. And I feel like we're all in this together. The more the merrier, and it just brings more positivity, and, it just makes everything that much better, the more people that are involved. And for the athletes to have their, significant other there, it makes them happy. And it's just an all-around better time. So, at the expos, you know, the amount of people I have at the booth, it's grown. You know, I had over 60 people behind the booth. Well, I had over 60 athletes, you know, and then I had, you know, their husbands, their wives, maybe their cousin, you know, I don't give a fuck, bring them. You know, I don't care, that's great, you know, the more the better. You know, and again, you know, we kill it at the expo, we go train afterwards, and we all go to the gym, we have a good time training together, and it's fun. We go out and eat, and it's all a good time, you know, and I encourage everyone else, you know, come to my booth, get to know the athletes, you know, talk to everyone, ask some questions, get to know me, hang out, you know, it's all around a good time. So I hope this answers some of the people's questions, you know, when they say, God, it seems like Rich Piana, like his athletes aren't all, you know, these huge fucking bodybuilders or, you know, huge powerlifters. It's like, well, you know, I have MMA guys, I have, you know, CrossFit, I have every bikini girls, whatever. I have a whole array of different athletes, and I feel like that's what it's about. You know, we are all in this together, and we all have the same goals, and I have people that are just starting off. You know, I might have a 17-year-old kid at the booth who's been training for 6 months, but you know what? That kid has more desire, more motivation than, you know, a lot of these, you know, 300-pound steroid bodybuilders, you know, and his motivation, you know, being around him might motivate me a million times more than, you know, some big, huge monster, you know, that has no personality and just stands at the booth, you know, looking big and doesn't say one word to the people that come up to him, you know, has no personality. And, you know, in my opinion, that's a useless thing to have at my booth, you know, is I want people that are going to motivate people, you know, and educate people and have a good fucking time. And when people come to my booth, I want them to have a good fucking time. And, you know, myself and the other athletes, we're not above anyone. You know, I consider us, we're all equals. You know, when someone comes in my booth to shake my hand, you know, I'm standing right face to face and we're equals, and I'm going to talk to you and give you the same respect I give anyone else, you know, because the truth be told, we are all equals. And, you know, what's crazy is there was a booth that was like right next to ours at the Olympia, and, you know, the athletes were up on like a 10-foot like stage, I guess you call it, or a pedestal. And, you know, the athletes looked amazing. You know, the guys were fucking shredded, ripped abs. The girls were hot as fuck, little shorts, little tube tops, you know, and the athletes all looked fucking amazing, you know, like spot on, like competition ready. But what's crazy is that they're looking down upon, you know, the people at the expo, and they're throwing samples down to them, you know, and the people down below are like fighting for the samples, you know, and it's getting like crazy. Like people were literally fighting for these little samples they were throwing. And it just popped in my head for a second that it was like, you know, the king throwing bread down to the peasants, you know, and they were fighting for the bread, you know, or it just seems so like we're above you and you're below us, and, you know, we're going to give you these samples, and maybe one day, you know, you'll look like us, you know, but as of for right now, we're way up here above you, you know, and it just kind of, you know, there was no interaction, no, you know, it was just throwing samples down, and it just didn't read right with me, you know, but, you know, everyone has their own way of doing things, and I'm not talking shit. It just struck me as, you know, that it seemed like it was made obvious that, you know, we're so much above you guys, you know, kind of a visual. And, you know, the truth be told, again, we're all in this together, and we're all have the same goals, the same dreams. And I just wanted everyone to understand, when you see people in my booth, that's what it's about. You know, it's this woman might be this guy's wife, and she's a housewife. She takes care of the kids. And this one over here, yeah, she's a bikini, you know, pro, and she's won 3 shows, you know. And you know what? They're both here to represent. They both train hard. They both have the same goals, and it's all good. You know, I'm not going to discriminate and say, well, yeah, you know, visually you're not quite good enough to be at my booth, so yeah, you can't be here. You know, I need only the people that look the part are only allowed to be in my booth. You know, and I know that's what the expo's about, and I know that's pretty much, you know, how most of the companies do their thing. You know, that the only athletes that are the only people there at the booth are the people that, you know, look fucking incredible. You know, and I don't see it that way. I do things different, and, you know, I see that, you know, we're all in this together, and no one's better than anyone, and you guys can come and be more relatable with us, you know, and see that, you know, we all fit in, and we're all really the same. For me, it's not all about that fucking outer shell. There's a lot more to people than that outer shell, you know, and it's getting inside that person, getting to know them, and, you know, realizing the amount of motivation, determination, and, you know, what they have to offer, you know. And in a couple years, that person might blow people's minds, because with that motivation, he's going to turn that into some serious shit. So anyway,